Hello everybody, this is Gregory with Permanent Weight Loss Made Easy, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about how the Asian cuisines are a better choice for you anytime that you're considering eating out. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. As many of you guys know, I lost over 100 pounds and I've kept it off for 32 plus years. I have 2 books on Amazon that detail that and might give you some tips on how to do that. I also have a website with hundreds of articles and recipes. I have a podcast called The Awakened Man, which is very health related, and I also have The Cinema Rag, which is a podcast on movies and celebrity gossip, which is not. Lastly, if you appreciate my content, there's a link for PayPal. So we have an ongoing series, and I don't think I've done one of these episodes probably in the last 2, 3, 4 months, but what to eat, what not to eat when you're considering eating out. So I think we have 8 of these, 9 of these. So we have one on American food, barbecue, seafood, Greek/Middle Eastern food, Indian food, Asian food, sushi, and so forth. And I thought it'd be good just to do a good reminder of kind of like the reasons why American food isn't the best. Now, American food, I would say, is not the healthiest food, and that's one of the reasons that we're the most overweight we've ever been in human history, but it's not necessarily the main reason. If you think about it, in the 1950s, we were eating pizzas and burgers and pot roast and meatloafs and all these very American dishes, American pie, like chicken pot pie and all these things. But no doubt the portions were smaller and we weren't as much eating our emotions. And with the breakdown of the family and other factors that have really, you could say, have been accelerated the last 40 years, I think a lot more of our obesity, as much as we want to not give credit for, has to do with emotional and psychological issues. That being said, one of the benefits of the Asian foods is the Asian foods as a whole. And what I mean by Asian, I'm talking mostly about Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese, and Japanese, but even Indian food, is that they're going to have a much more preponderance of vegetables in their dish. So whether you're looking at like a curry or a soup or some of just the classic Thai and Vietnamese dishes and Chinese dishes, they come with vegetables. Think of like beef and broccoli. If you think of many of the Indian curries and the Thai curries, you're going to get a lot of, whether it be green curry, red curry, whatever curry flavor you like, a lot of vegetables in there. And so you're getting a bulk of vegetables, where if you look at the mainstays of American food, there's very little vegetables unless you count maybe the tomato or pickle you're putting on your burgers. And we know the biggest number one vegetable in terms of consumption in America is potatoes, because of French fries, but potatoes really don't have any added benefit. Sweet potatoes a little more than regular potatoes, but there's not much there. And so if you look, the typical American foods are problematic. Pizza is mostly just dough with sugary spaghetti sauce, with cheese, and then some vegetable toppings. Burgers are a problem. Barbecue is just meat slathered with spicy and sweet sauces. And so if you have a choice, and if you can gravitate, and if you have a taste for the Asian foods, and I do, I like the Asian foods. I'm not a big fan of Japanese food, in particular sushi, but sushi, think about it, sushi overall is pretty healthy. If you have a taste for these Asian foods and or you like to cook, then maybe indulge more in these Asian foods, because these Asian foods as a whole tend to be healthier. And yeah, I mean, look, all the Asian foods, especially if you go to an American restaurant like P.F. Chang's, they're going to Americanize them by adding stuff that would not be found in the traditional cuisine of that country. For example, my family's Hispanic. I'm from Mexico. My parents are born in Mexico. So I live in Texas. Texas Tex-Mex is really big. And so when Texans or Americans in general go to Mexico, let's say they go to Oaxaca or Puebla or wherever, they expect Mexican dishes that are what they're used to in America. So slathered and lathered and gravy and all this cheese and fried quesadillas and all these things like that. And it's not like that, right? The enchiladas down there, very subtle. Maybe they'll use goat's cheese. They're not just throwing gravies on everything. Albeit mole is very good, and that's from southern Mexico. But it's a very different food over there. And it's the same thing. Like if you go to Asia, the foods there are going to be much healthier than the versions you find here in America. That being said, though, If you go to a Thai restaurant or a Vietnamese restaurant or even Chinese restaurant or any of these things, you're going to find healthier choices, not just because there's more vegetables, but in general, they just have healthier foods. And also, if you look at the desserts of the Asians, much lighter desserts. Look at the Middle Eastern desserts like baklava, much lighter than chocolate cake and ice cream and all these things like that. So in closing, guys, look, I'm not saying you can never have pizza, obviously, and I'm not one of those puritanical purists, and I have an episode on this. Weight loss is very different than weight management. With weight loss, you have to be a little stricter in what you're eating, but once you lose the weight, for weight management, I'm not going to be one of those puritanical purists that said you can never have milk, you can never have ice cream, you can never eat a donut, because that's, A, it's a life not worth living, and B, it's untenable. It's untenable to go your entire life, unless you have celiac disease, to never eat a donut or to never have pasta. That being said, if you have a proclivity for the Asian foods, I would say just gravitate more toward them and less toward the American food, because the American food, the American takeout, the typical American dishes are not that healthy. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you like Asian food. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the notification button if you haven't done so already. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.